Hello, Americans. I'm Ted Hayes, homeless activist, civil rights activist. Today, this is my expression of patriotism to my country, the United States of America, and to the men and the women from the very beginning of our nation to now who have donned the U.S. military uniforms, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard, to defend my freedom, my liberty, and yours as well. I am AKA Mr. Patriot. Where to go from there? I've been coming out here on the corner of San Vicente and Wilshire Boulevard in the middle of the 1888 deeded land for U.S. veterans' home. I've been working under the commandership of Robert Rosebrock, who introduced me to this crisis over 6 years ago when I was running for Congress in 2008. And he explained to me what was going on out here. And when I realized it, I had realized also that I had a duty. I had a civilian duty to stand up on behalf of our veterans. I myself am not a U.S. military veteran. My father was a veteran who's gone to heaven now. He served in World War II and in Korea, where he shed his own blood for his country. He took other men's blood, men who were fathers, brothers, sons. He had to kill other people. He had to put himself through the psychological pain that all military people go through for my sake. My older brothers were in the military. I just felt that I didn't have the aptitude, was during the Vietnam era, 1969, to stand. And I admit, I ran for my duty. Now, it is my duty to give back to our veterans. And speaking of giving back, I want all you veterans out there to know who see this, you have our front. You're at the front door, always for us. When you get up in the morning, you're up there for us. Basic training, you're for us. In warfare, you're for us. When you put that uniform on, you are for us, whether you have the uniform or not. You served. And we civilians owe you. As an activist, I look for demonstrative ways to get my point across, especially for the homeless. I don this uniform. And to some people, they will say, well, he's being a clown. He's making a mockery. Other cases say, case of black men, they see me, they want to say maybe, how could you wear the colors of the oppressor? These are the people, this is the country that held us as slaves. Well, I answer all of that with, if I see something in this country to love and to put my life on the line for, my question to everybody else is, what is your problem? What's wrong with you? What have you suffered in this country that you cannot stand up for this country? If I, a former slave, can stand up for this country, you can too, stand for our veterans. If it wasn't for veterans like Bob Rosebrock, who for 6 years led his group, the Old Veterans Guard, to be out here every Sunday afternoon to make the point about this veterans' homeland, that it belongs to the veterans and not to the general public. If it wasn't for him and Bob and all the other guys out here, and women, we wouldn't have this victory that we're now experiencing. Notice what was here once used to be called the National Veterans Park. National Veterans Park. The other side, it used to say beauty, country, was it beauty, country, and God? No, it's duty, country, and God. This will now be Veterans National Home, not a park. So I'm personally honored that I can participate with veterans to make it right, not just for veterans who come here, but for veterans all over our country. So this is my tribute as Mr. Patriot. thank you for listening. And God bless America, God bless the world, and of course, God bless our veterans. And may I do one thing I want to try? Let me do this on behalf of our veterans. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare and bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Hoorah! Something I want to say to all patriot activists or would-be activists. There's a word called tenacity. It means sticking with it. When Bob started this every Sunday 6 years ago, he stayed with it. This veteran saw a vision based on truth, based on honesty. He saw a vision, he recognized what was going on here was wrong, the signs they had up here was wrong, and Bob Rosebrock stayed with it. And people said, it's impossible, you're up against big money, big government, you'll never change it, give it up. He didn't do it. Let that be a lesson to all of us activists, no matter what the odds are. If you believe God, you believe the truth, and you act, confess, profess, and act towards what you profess, manifestation of the truth comes about. Let this be evidence, you guys. Don't ever give up. Our troops don't give up. He's a prime example of that. So I want to say also here today, we salute Bob Rosebrock and the old Veterans Guard men and women who stood out here all this time and will continue until our veterans' home is being used for what it's supposed to be used for, a veterans' homeland. Thank you.